Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Man and Ty Sports Cave. Today, we're going to talk about a little bit of racing. We're going to talk about the Blues Blackhawks game, and then we're going to talk about the Rivermen. There's Big Ben, and on the very end, we got a new guy. His name's Wade. Wade, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Wade Lovin. I'm basically a lifelong Rivermen fan. I was brought up in the sport by my dad. Um, my first memories were going to Rivermen games with him. I played hockey, a little bit of hockey. I was a goalie in hockey, and that's again in large part to the Rivermen. That's how I became a Blues fan with the Rivermen. So yeah, I've been following this team for basically 38 years. So
Nice.
Rivermen fan through and through, diehard fan, and yeah, I love talking Rivermen hockey.
All right.
Who would be your favorite older player from when you're younger, and who's your favorite current player right now for the Rivermen?
Well, I would say I'm definitely a goalie guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but one of my favorite players outside of goalies was always Rick Pione. My dad had a good relationship with Rick Pione, and I went to his camp as well. And probably one of my all-time favorite goalies back then was probably Jeff Sargent. I really loved the way he played and kind of why I wanted to play goalie. Um, Currently, that's a tough one. That really is a tough one. There's so many that I like. I mean, I was a big Jordan Ernst fan. Again, a big Caden Cahill fan, but they're no longer there. So currently, I would probably have to say our captain Alec Bear is one of my favorites. And I've always been a Nick Latinovich fan. I liked him back when he played for Havoc in Macon. So when he came over to the Rivermen, I was definitely excited.
Awesome. So a little bit of since this show is about hockey and dirt track racing, let's go ahead and do a little bit of quick dirt track racing before we get to the Blues Blackhawks game. Lincoln Speedway had their big fall festia or whatever they want to call it, but top three for the classes that it ran last night was for pro late models, which is like crate late model, right, Ty?
Pro late models?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crate late models.
So the top three was Dakota Ewing, Brandon Weiser, and Chad Osteroff. Then let's see. The UMP Modifieds, Rick Conier, Brian Lynn, and Ray Bollinger. And then I gotta keep scrolling. I should have just written these down, just like Wade did. See. Anyway, Jason Fager, Jason Fager, Jake Little, and Miles Moose. And with that, I think that solidified Jason being the UMP dirt track late model champion and also the Mars Series champion. And since there's bad weather going to be off and on throughout the day today, night 2 of that is canceled. So with that said, you can get on Flow unless you want to really start driving as soon as the show's over with and go to Eldora. But Eldora's Saturday night Dirt Track World Championship features the B mains for the LOL MDS, plus the Jim Dunn Memorial non-qualifier race, and the 100,000 to win Dirt Track Championship. Steel Blocks will compete for a 5,000 to win championship. The Saturday night finale will also determine the $250,000 champion for this year. So, that's it for now for racing. And
All right. So let's get into this so-called Blues Blackhawks game. So right off the bat, I knew right off the bat we were going to be. I thought we were going to lose a lot worse, especially when Hofer basically just gave it to him, and it was just a tap in. And then the second goal, me and Wade talked about it. Looked like he got in the butterfly position way too early, and it snuck right by him. And I'm like, well, shit. But the thing is, with the Blues, they came back. They fought back. They scored 2, and then I'm like, okay, we're back in. So, and then things just got kind of messy afterwards. I mean, what was your perspective on that, Wade?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you hit it pretty good there. I was somewhat surprised and a little disappointed that it wasn't Bennington starting. I mean, this early in the season, I was like, okay, I would have liked to see Bennington get that start, but Blackhawks played their backup too, Soderblom. And so I was like, well, at least Blackhawks are playing their backup too, so it is what it is. And I know we've gotten some strong performances out of Hoffer. He's put on some good performances. So, like I said, I was a little hopeful, but I mean, he just didn't have it that night. I mean, flat out, he let in some very leaky goals. Granted, the defense didn't help,
No.
but I mean, at the end of the day, he still, that second goal was just kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. That had no business finding the back of the net. But it is what it is. Like you said, they came back, they tied it up, and going on to the second period, you look for them to make a push,
right.
But instead, again, just a few more leaky goals, and it's just kind of like they went flat right after that, and just it unraveled from there. Unfortunately for the Blues.
It sounds like the Blackhawks wanted this win this rivalry to catch up, since the Blues have a better percentage of wins against the Blackhawks. Seems like.
And what was your perspective of it, Ben?
I thought it was good. I just watch it just for the action. I'm not technical with names and stuff because I just don't remember. I just like watching it for the action. It kept me entertained the whole night.
Yeah, no, I
was getting worried after the first, but then like Wade was saying, the Blackhawks scored 3 in the second. And I'm like, okay. It's still close, but not close.
And then went from close to not close.
Yeah, and then when I seen that, and about halfway through the third, I was like tired, and I was like, yeah, this game's done with. I'm going to go to bed, because it was getting like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and that's usually when I go to bed. And I was like, yeah, Blackhawks won that one.
It got to the point where when Blackhawks kept scoring, I just started laughing. Just like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is just...
Well, I think Bennington was just like, you know what? It's a lost cause. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, though, I don't know why some goalies do that. And I don't know why. Because they got to think about their own stats on that in that situation as well. Like, do you really want to take a bad stat game just because we're down by 5 goals? I mean, I don't know. I personally couldn't do that.
Is that why they brought in the other goalie?
Well, Bennington, I mean, they needed to get Hofer out of there. I probably would have pulled him after the second goal, to be honest.
Okay.
I probably would have. I don't know if Wade would have, but I would have. Because, I mean, not because I was like, I wouldn't be mad at him, but I'd be like, dude, you just don't got it tonight. So go ahead, regroup. You'll get back
Mhm.
at it, the next game you're suiting up. Because I think if they would have done that, I really think Bennington probably would have took it a little bit more, I guess, serious, I guess you want to call it. I'm not saying he didn't take it serious, but I mean, Wade's seen it. I've seen it. When it's a blowout already and they pull the goalie, it just seems like that goalie's just kind of like, like we're already in a blowout. Why do I need to go 100%? So, I mean, that's my perspective on it. I don't know if that's what you see, Wade. But
As a goalie, myself, like, it doesn't matter if I start or I'm on the bench. I have the mindset is that I'm always ready to go in any situation when needed. I know, I've never been a pro. Don't obviously not NHL, but obviously Benny went into that game thinking he had the night off and he could just kind of sit back, and then a game can turn just like that, and next thing you know, you're needed. And I know
mhm.
Benny lately hasn't been used to coming off the bench, and he looked decent to start, but once that first goal got by Benny, that's when he was just like, almost like he was like, screw it, it's a blowout, and it almost looked like they didn't even want to be out there anymore,
Yeah, yeah,
So it's just when it gets to that point, that's you might as well just turn off the TV, because that you can call it a wrap after that.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. No, it was something. Like I said, I was watching it and I had to go to bed because I mean 3:30 in the morning comes early. So I was like,
Right.
I'm done with this, and so I went to bed and woke up that morning and looked at the final score, and I'm like, whoa, I guess it was a good thing I went to bed. So um real quick, the Blues play today, today, um versus the Stars. They're
Mhm.
home. They're home versus the Stars tonight at 6 p.m. Um, yeah, well, Blackhawks play tonight.
Blackhawks is tomorrow against the Anaheim Ducks at 6 Central at the United Center.
Okay.
And they played last night, and it was a shootout, and the Canucks got the shootout win.
Ha.
I'm like, Canucks, it's like, come on. It's like,
We beat them on Canadian Thanksgiving.
yeah, I
Blues
think
did.
that's the one thing that always puzzled me. It's like, okay, it's like, for instance, the Blues and Blackhawks. Let's just say of course, we just seen that the Blackhawks went against the Blues, but yet, like Ty just said, they beat the Canadians earlier in the season, and it's like, I think it's kind of weird how that type of play happens. It's like the Blackhawks beat the Blues, but the Blackhawks couldn't beat the Canucks, but yet the Blues beat the Canucks.
See, now that's why I love hockey, because any team can be beaten anytime. And I mean, this sport is the most I've seen that such an underdog can come in and beat the team. I mean, look at the SPHL championship last year. Evansville, I didn't think they would ever do what they did last year.
I didn't think they'd get out of the first round.
Exactly. And they did. They beat us. They beat the Rivermen. And then they went on and won the championship. And I told people, I said, I do not want to face Evansville. So I was rooting. Who are they playing again? The Havoc. Yeah. I was rooting on the Havoc. I was like, come on, Huntsville. And when they won and they had to play Peoria, I'm like, it's going to be tougher than everybody thinks it's going to be. And they're like, no, we got it. We got it. And I'm like, I mean, I hope so. But Evansville is dangerous right now. And turns out they were. They were very dangerous, and they ended up winning the cup.
Mhm.
We're gonna move on here just real quick. Bloomington Bison tonight. They are home opener versus the Heartlanders from Iowa. I believe that is at 7:10. I believe is the puck drop. So if you're in the central area and you're not heading up to Quad Cities, which I don't know if you saw that way, but it could be a sellout. They
Mhm.
are on sellout watch.
Yep.
But if you're in the area and you want to go watch some hockey, head on over to Bloomington. It's a nice arena. It's some ECHL league, and
Is either of them going to be online if there is a sellout?
well, SPHL is on Flow. All
Okay.
SPHL is on Flow, and ECHL is on Flow as well. So if you can't make it to either one, you can watch it up on Flow. Now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty. I know Wade's been waiting for this. So tonight, Peoria Rivermen open up their season with a road game against Quad City Storm, the rivalry on 74. The war on 74 starts tonight in Quad Cities. They start, and I believe it's going to be an interesting game. I think there's a lot of new people on both sides. So, what do you think, Bob Wade? I think it's going to be weird seeing all these new people in Riverman jerseys.
Yeah, I mean, you got plenty of new faces for both teams. You know, both teams have lost some longtime vets that's been with the team. I mean, you no longer got Brent Moran at goal for Quad City Storm. Fournier is gone. Cole Golka is gone. I mean, we have our departures too, with Wilkie and Ernst and JMP Forneris. Like we've
Muse.
vets too, yeah. Muse in the trade. So I mean, this is two different squads. 100% it is coming in, and they both have something to prove. I mean, you have Quad City Storm that literally just watched Rivermen win a cup, and then they just watched Evansville win a cup. This team is hungry. They want their turn to raise the cup. They're a young team. They got a new coach. And I've been telling everybody, look, I get that Quad City Storm, you know, hasn't been that great in the past, but they are improving. They are definitely improving. And a side note, this would be the fourth consecutive year that Riverman has played game one in Quad Cities. And they've lost two of the previous three matchups against Quad City. So
Nope.
Quad City plays very well at home against the Rivermen in the home opener. So
They do.
It's going to be a tough, gritty game, man. It's going to be physical. I think both teams are going to come out confident, skating hard, skating fast. You're going to see aggressive play, and let's face it, nobody's going to pass up on a big hit. They're going to
No.
finish their check.
Oh yeah.
You might even see a fight early in the first period.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Right.
to me, it's just getting off to a fast start, weathering the storm. I think you're going to see Quad City Storm come out really aggressive, firing pucks at the net. So I think the probables will be Latinovich and Steves, and they better be ready to stop some pucks. They're going to see some pucks come their way. So yeah, it's a good game coming up, and I'm excited for it. But we're going to have to earn this one.
Oh yeah.
Be a pushover. They're just
Yeah.
not.
So, we lost a lot of good players. Ernst went to the ECHL. Benares went to FPHL. JM is what, semi-retired, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, he's retired, open to come back. Possibly.
Yeah. I think Wilkie's the same.
Yeah.
Sounds like those two wanted just to take a break for a while, maybe to rest up.
Well, it's one of those deals where they want to retire, and then they get that itch. They want to, and I don't know. I have mixed feelings on the whole coming in halfway through the season just to get your playoff qualification. I mean, that's I have a little bit of an issue with it because, and I don't know, Wade might agree with me, but it takes a roster spot from a kid or some kid that's really good, but we need a roster spot right now because so and so wants to play 3 games or 5 games. It's 5 games, isn't it? Wade, 5 games to get.
5 games.
So they have to play 5 games to be qualified to play into the playoffs. So they use a roster spot for that person. They dress for 5 games, and sometimes they leave and then come back, and then sometimes they stay. Like JM stayed the rest of the year, which I will say I liked it that he did stay the rest of the year. I mean, Mitch kind of did the same thing, but he played mostly at home. Like when they were home, he couldn't really travel with the team. But trying to kind of getting off subject here, we'll talk about tonight. Who do you see taking over the offense for this team? I mean, I see Alec Bear's going to have to step up with all these new players. I know Divine is going to probably have to step up. I mean, who else do you think needs to?
Well, obviously Bear, you nailed it right there because, he ain't got an Ernst or a Wilkie to fall back on. He's really got to take charge now this year with the leadership and production. One guy that I got my eye on that I think could be one of our best playmakers and a leading point getter outside of Alec Bear is Michael McChesney. And he's very key to our success when it comes to special teams and offense. And he's a good defending forward as well. And he led our team in shorthanded goals with 3 last season.
That's true.
I think Michael McChesney is very key to our success, as well as a Braden Barker. I would like to see him be more productive. We know he can play defense, forward. He's a great player, great leader. So, like I said, those 4, Bear, Garrett Devine, Michael McChesney, Braden Barker, those guys really got to be our heart on the offense, and they really got to rally this team together because we lost some big goal scorers. I mean, flat out we did. And so, I'd like to see Griffin Fox step up and see what Trezera can do.
So, I am excited to see what Trezera can do. I mean, I was so happy to get him back.
I was definitely happy. And, when we got Mike Gillette starting on IR, I want to see good things out of Mikey, and I think we will. But, it does hurt us a little bit that him and Josh Martin both have got to kind of sit on IR probably till about mid-November at least.
Yeah, because the other night at the dinner, Martin actually sat at my table, and he said, I won't be playing the first month because he's recovering from shoulder surgery, and it sounds like Gillette is same. He's recovering from. Did he have surgery or did he?
Yeah, he had all surgery, and he sat at my table actually. Well, I sat at his, Gillette. So and he said he's recovering from shoulder rotator cuff type surgery. So it'll be November.
So let's go through the roster here. Of course, you got Michael McChesney. Chartrand, which I see him being more of a tough guy. We did see that last year. He can throw the gloves if he needs to, throw hands. Braden Barker is always good on the forecheck. Very, very nitty gritty, getting down deep in there. Of course, Garrett Devine. He can score when he needs to. But I mean, me and Wade's already talked about it. We need to get. He needs to really step up this year because, like I said, we've lost. A big hole was Ernst. I mean, when you're scoring at least one goal a game. I don't know what his goals game average was off the top of my head, but I mean, it was pretty high. Of course, Tristan came back out of retirement, which I was not shocked by that.
No.
I just had a gut feeling that he was going to be back. We got. I have on the internet right now. The Rivermen put out their doctor on the internet. I have a Brandon McNamara. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I'm saying that right. McNamara. He's new. I've not heard anything from him. So welcome to the team. Michael Colella. I mean, I hope, like I said, that's why I couldn't be a hockey announcer because I couldn't pronounce any of these names. He's new. Then you got Frank Tizera, Griffin Fox, Alec Bear. That is our forwards on the current roster right now. For defense, we have Kyler Fenton. He came back. Glad to have him back. We have Brandon Walker, which he's new, I believe. I don't remember him very well, so welcome. Nick Parody, which we got him from the Marksman on that trade with Colby Muse. Corey Dennis, Landon Johnson, Lazarus Cable. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his last name. And Caden Meyer is our defensive thing. Of course, Josh is on IR, so he's not going to show up on the roster. And so is Gillette. They're not going to show up on this roster because they are on the IR. For anybody that was like, whoa, where's so they are on the roster, but they can't be on the active roster. So, and then of course our goalies. Nick Latinovich is back, and Jack Bostad, and I love Jack. He is very good. It was funny. We were talking at the end of that dinner, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm number 33. Wasn't expecting that." So, which was weird. I haven't seen a 33 for the Rivermen in I don't know how long. Usually for their goalies, they stick with number 1 or 30 or 31. That's usually what you see. But Wade, when you look at that roster, like I said, I know you said you were kind of watching some players. Is there any more that you think could have a good season with us?
A quick side note, I did see Coach Trudell comment on this, that Adelia Donier will be joining the roster as well, which is huge, considering, we had Ferrandino signing the ECHL, and we got Martin on IR, so getting AO to come back was big. Yeah, like I said, that's a real good roster. For the people we've lost, we got a real good roster. I think our defense is pretty solid, especially when we get healthy. I look kind of what I've seen Trudell touch on, and I agree with him. Probably a majority of the ice time on defense, you'll see Nick Parody out there. He's that type of guy. Great defender. Corey Dennis coming down from the ECHL, and Kyler Fenton. Right now, those three you'll probably see get the majority of the ice time on D. But again, Landon Johnson, Lazarus Cable. Lazarus is actually Butch Cable's son, so he's a legacy player. Butch Cable played in the IHL days. So I mean, we
along
got
with his brother Carson.
correct. And like I said, we got two of the best, I mean, legit number one goalies.
Yeah.
Tino has won a championship with us, runner-up goalie of the year, probably should have been goalie of the year that year. And Jack Boston, I dubbed him and gave him the nickname Jack the Final Boss Boston because that dude, he flat out impressed me. I mean, nobody expected much out of him. They kind of expected him to fill in and then ship out. But when you seen him in there, even when he gave up a goal, he just has this calm demeanor, like, yeah, no big deal. I got it, guys. Just don't worry about it. And he just moves on. And you love to see that demeanor coming from your goaltender. So I have a lot of confidence in Jack myself. And obviously, I got a lot of confidence in Tino. I mean, when you can trade away your goalie of the year and still be in good shape at the net, I mean, you count yourself blessed. That don't happen that often.
No.
So, especially in the SPHL.
Yeah.
When you look at this roster, it's like, yeah, we might have lost some big names. No doubt about that. But I see a good team. I see a good team on this paper. And also, side note from Tristan Trudell. Look, I know people, want to say he's just like kind of a goon type player and fighter, but I disagree with that. I've seen this kid play. He does have skill. I think he could
Oh, he
be
does.
have a Mitch McPherson type player. He can cause havoc in front of that net, set people up for success. He can get to those rebounds, put the puck in the net. I mean, he is better than given credit. I mean, he can also knock you out, just ask Semino. But
Yes.
he play. He can also play out there, score goals, and set other people up for success. So I look for Tristan to kind of make, maybe a sophomore slump in that department. I look for him to make that jump in the point production, and I'm confident that he will. But other than that, I see a solid defense, a good core of forwards, and a great goalie tandem. Now we just got to play together, develop some chemistry, and get this show on the road.
Yeah. And going back to Tristan, I mean, the year before last year, he did good. I mean, he was scoring goals. He was stepping up when he needed to step up. But last year, like you said, he was kind of slumped. I mean, I don't know if he just decided, well, I'm going to have kind of a goon year because he was taking silly penalties too on some stuff. And I'm like, come on, Tristan, you know how to play hockey. I know you know how to score. I know you know how to do this. And hopefully this year he can kind of concentrate on scoring and doing the rest of the stuff besides just fighting. I mean, yes, we need him in that department because, I mean, looking at this roster, I don't see I just don't see the tough guy, like Tristan, that Tristan can step in that role. But also he needs to kind of concentrate on the offense as well, in my opinion. Because when we had Hageman, I mean, he could do both. He could score when he needed to. He could, fight when he needed to. So, and honestly, I loved how spicy Alec Bear got last year. I mean, he never really dropped the gloves, but I mean, he was in there. I mean, he would throw his body around a little bit and get a little pushing matches and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, and I agree with Wade. I mean, the chemistry is the big thing because these guys don't get very, very long to practice. I mean, they get what, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
They get 2 weeks, and then they,
down, from like ECHL, and it really does take a couple of weeks of playing live game action to really develop that chemistry together on the ice. I mean, you're going to see some sloppy play. I know, we have high expectations here when it comes to play on the ice, but people are going to have to be a little patient because you are going to see a little bit of sloppy play, but it's going to get better. Under Coach Trudell and with this talent, it's going to get better. I promise you that.
So it sounds like the first 2 to 3 weeks, it'll take some time to get the chemistry right for the right players and to make the goals and the blocking and.
Well, I know. Guy did say one year the first 2 weeks are preseason. He said something in that, like something like that, like the first games are preseason games, because like Wade said, that's when they get their chemistry, and there's a lot of sloppy play in the first week or so, and then when you start getting chemistry. But the thing is, the SPHL is one of those leagues that you have so many people coming and going, that some teams never get that chemistry. And it's hard to get it once you lose it. So, but again, tonight, Rivermen face off against their rivalry from I-74. I will be at the game. I believe Wade will be at the game. Looks like it could be
watching it online.
Yeah. And it looks like it could be a sellout crowd. Like I said, I've been to Quad Cities once. It's a nice arena. I believe it's a very nice arena.
Is this the shoehorn one? Kind of like what Bloomington is?
It's kind of like a horseshoe.
Okay, because I remember going to that arena for a wrestling event. WCW back in the day. But anyway.
Wrestling. If you don't weigh in, you don't wrestle. But anywho.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wade, you got anything to add before we kind of wrap up the show here?
Well, like I said, I think both of these teams are going to make their mistakes. Who can capitalize on the mistakes the most, who can execute their game plan the most. You're going to probably see a little bit of line juggling, again, trying to develop that chemistry. But like I said, these two teams are going to come out a little nerves maybe in the first, but they're going to be aggressive and nothing settle down those nerves like a big hit or, a big goal. So like I said, these guys, they're going to come out fast. They're going to come out firing the puck. Kind of got to weather that storm in the first period, pun intended. So I hope the Rivermen can get on the board first and kind of put you at ease there. It's always nice to get the first goal. So especially when you're on the road. So like I said, I'd look for a fast physical matchup. Maybe you might see a little bit of sloppy play, but like I said, it's early. But I am confident the Rivermen can take this game on the road. I think it's kind of needed because we got a tough matchup against Fayetteville at home. So, I definitely look forward to this matchup. I think Rivermen can win this, but they're going to have to earn it for sure.
I agree. Ben, you got anything before we wrap up?
Again, tonight, if you like hockey, there's plenty of hockey going on. I believe you guys said the Blues game tonight.
Yep, Blues at home versus Dallas at 6 p.m.
And then you got
Bison.
The Bison.
Bloomington Bison at home opener against Iowa. And then, of course, the Rivermen up in Quad Cities. Like I said, you can catch the Bison and the Rivermen on Flow. And then, of course, whatever channel the Blues are on. I got FanDuel, so usually it's on FanDuel Midwest. But anything else been on the racing side real quick you want to mention?
The Blackhawks are playing tomorrow. But again, racing tonight, if you're into racing as well, because you can always dual screen it if you want to. There's the World Championship at Eldora. The person will get what I say, $250,000 for the championship.
I believe so. Yep.
And I did make the name change for the Facebook. So if you're watching this from us sharing it, again, share it as much as you can to wherever you can. But it is called, as the ticker says on the bottom, Big Ben and Ty Sports Cave.
And I will say featuring Wade. But no, we appreciate Wade coming on, and hope we have you on a lot of the times. Because like I said, this was fun. We'll talk about Riverman hockey, and then sometimes we'll pick a topic and talk about like referees, because we all love referees, right?
I love it.
Damn zebras.
So, everybody, we want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank Wade for being on the show. Like I said, hopefully he'll be on many shows to come. We want to thank you all, like I said, for liking, sharing, and listening. On behalf of Big Ben and Ty Sports Cave, have a great Saturday, everybody.
Thanks for having me.